Good evening, Epiphany Lutheran Church and friends, and good evening, St. John Lutheran Church and friends. It's Pastor David here with you tonight. In case you're wondering where Pastor Mary is, well, let me tell you, it's been an interesting week in the Armstrong-Reiner household. It started last Sunday when Christopher was sick, and then it continued on Tuesday when I got sick. And well, starting late last night and early this morning, it was Pastor Mary's turn to be sick in the household. Sam, just hope that you don't end up coming down what three of us all have been dealing with.
Oh, yes, same here.
So, Pastor Mary is on the mend, but she's been pretty wiped out today with this. I think she's got the worst of the three of us right now. So please keep her in your prayers. I'll announce this at the end for the St. John Lutheran Church folks. I will let you know that she's already made a decision and wanted me to announce tonight that with her being sick, it does mean that there will not be drive-by communion on Sunday. So just know that there will not be drive-by communion on Sunday due to Pastor Mary being sick. So, but please continue to keep her in prayer, and we'll just pray for protection around Samuel so that he's not sick. Like the three of us have been. So, hey, I'm going to try to do my best with you. I may do a couple pieces of useless information, but I'll try to be the more joke person because I thought about, and I think I mentioned this last week, one reason especially I wanted to make sure to wear this hat here tonight because today is my father's birthday. My dad would have been 98 years old today if he were still alive. He died a little less than 8 years ago. I was able to go back for his 90th birthday, and he died a couple of months later on that. So in honor of my father tonight, I wear his hat that I ended up getting. And with that, I was sitting here thinking about the fact that my father told jokes all the time, and he told the same dang jokes all the time. Not that our son is heard the same story from us constant number of times, but it hit me that when I started trying to think about jokes my father told, I suddenly realized that I think he told them so many times to me that I have forgotten most of the jokes. So I'm hoping that maybe somewhere along the line I'm triggered here tonight with some of them. You know, I remember some great statements. I've been fond of quoting my father on a couple things, and one of them tends to be one that I've quoted a lot recently. My father would always joke that with certain people, he was convinced that how they were he would always say that the way they could express themselves is, "My mind is made up. Don't confuse me with facts." I always remember that because you run into people, don't you? I hope you're not one of them that's listening right now, but you run into people who get so stuck in the way they think about things that telling them facts that just doesn't work through. It's like my father would also say too. He said, "I can understand why people put their foot in their mouths. He says, "But why do they wait till they're all the way up to their knee before they start pulling it out?" You know, and you think about that. Think about that. So anyway, I have a couple of jokes that came to mind with one of them that I know came from my father. Another one that I think he might have told. I think he would have appreciated if he were around. But I want to share with you, I did end up getting a joke from one of our church members at Epiphany that I wanted to be able to share with you tonight. It's from Pat Gibson, and I just thought this was great, so I wanted to be able to share it with you. So here you go. The Presbyterian Church called a meeting to decide what to do about their squirrel infestation. After much prayer and consideration, they concluded that the squirrels were predestined to be there, and they should not interfere with God's divine will. At the Baptist Church, the squirrels had taken an interest in the baptistry. The deacons met and decided to put a water slide on the baptistry and let the squirrels drown themselves. The squirrels liked the slide and unfortunately knew instinctively how to swim, so twice as many squirrels showed up the following week. The Lutheran Church decided they were not in a position to harm any of God's creation, so they humanely trapped the squirrels and set them free near the Baptist Church. 2 weeks later, the squirrels were back when the Baptists took down the water slide. The Episcopalians tried a much more unique path by setting out pans of whiskey around their church in an effort to kill the squirrels with alcohol poisoning. They sadly learned how much damage a band of drunk squirrels can do. But the Catholic Church came up with a more creative strategy. They baptized all the squirrels and made them members of the church. Now they only see them at Christmas and Easter. Not much was heard from the Jewish synagogue. They took the first squirrel and circumcised him. They haven't seen a squirrel there since. So Sam made a face with that one. So there you go. There you go. Thank you, Pat Gibson, for sharing that joke. That was great. It was perfect for tonight. And my father would have loved that joke. I think my father really would have loved that joke too. You know, one joke I do remember my father saying is he said about there was this really poor couple that were having infertility problems, and so finally, you know, they decided that they were able to find a place that they could actually go and could barely kind of scrape up the means by which they could go and see an infertility doctor and find out what was going on wrong. And so it ended up, this was a number of years back, it ended up that the husband went, and it was only supposed to be about an hour appointment, but his wife just sat at home. She was waiting and waiting. She didn't go with him. You know, her appointment was supposed to be a couple weeks later after they got some results back from her husband. And finally, when her husband arrives, like the appointment was at 10 o'clock in the morning, and when he arrived back, it's 5 o'clock at night, and she's starting to get worried, sick about what might have happened. But he comes in, and he's decked out in a tuxedo and a top hat. And she looks at him and she says, honey, what is going on? What took you so long? And why are you dressed up like that? And he looked at her and he says, well, when I went to the doctor today, he says I'm impotent. And I figured if I'm impotent, I ought to look impotent. Okay, it's my dad. Okay, just remember, it's my dad's joke. Okay, so anyway, going to Pastor Mary's book. Well, actually, it's not Pastor Mary's book. It's one that I ended up finding. I ended up, it's the world's greatest collection of church jokes. I turned to the pastor's family section on all this, and I discovered that in the view of this pastor church book, I've noticed that it's all pastor fathers and husbands in here, so they hadn't come with the times. But anyway, keeping that in mind. So it says here that the pastor of First Church preached to his congregation about the bad influence television had on Christians. He exhorted everyone to do what he did in his own home. I believe everyone in this church should put their TV sets in the closet and leave them there. Just then his wife turned around and said to the friend behind her, yes, but it's getting pretty crowded in there. Right, okay. Kind of like your closet, Sam.
That is true. That is true.
All right. Sam, pick a number for some useless information.
63.
63. In our useless book of information tonight, we come to number 63, and we end up finding... Ooh, lots of choices here. We almost lost things there. You know what? We've actually done 63 before. I recognize some of these things. You got to think of another number.
135.
135. We haven't been with this book that long. I'm really surprised that you ended up picking a number that we've done before.
I have a set of numbers in my head that I just pick from.
Oh, okay. Sam, how many official languages does South Africa have?
I have no idea.
11. South Africa has 11 official languages. Okay. And did you know that Singapore is the only country with only one train station? So there you go.
Only one.
And did you know that moose have very bad vision and that they sometimes mistake cars for other moose?
So, yeah, that makes sense. They're surprisingly really tall. Have you ever like seen the photos of them, like compared to?
Oh, Sam, I've not only seen photos of them. I've been on a camping trip where they've come through as they were making their ways to the lake.
Oh no, that would scare me.
So, but then I was at a national park that was known for. Isle Royale National Park, located in beautiful Lake Superior, up off the coast of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So, Sam, how about this one? Bats eat as many as 600 bugs per hour.
Oh, 600.
There you go. Hey, a joke I'm not sure if my dad told. I do not remember if my dad told this one, but I think he would have liked this joke. And I think I told it way back when, in the early days of Friday Night Fun Night, all the way back in the year 2020, when it was just getting started with Friday Night Fun Night. But the joke I remember hearing told is about the one pastor who got up there and he was trying to get the church involved in terms of being able to be involved in terms of giving of money. And so he promised the church that whoever gave them the most amount of money as he passed the plate, that person would get to pick out the 3 hymns that they were going to be singing after the message. Okay, not a Lutheran church. Okay, so anyway, the collection comes back and they suddenly discover as they go through and they sort through, as people have written down their names and the amounts they're going to give, that all of a sudden they notice that there is 3 $100 bills that are laying there in the collection plate, but there is no name that is with them. And that's far and above more than anybody has given that day. And so the preacher looks out there at the congregation. He says, "Hallelujah, we have somebody that has picked out, has won today and is given $300, but there's no name on it. Who out there is doing this? You get to come up and choose your 3 hymns." And there's quiet throughout the entire congregation until little old Ms. Reynolds, who's in the back, she's like about 80 years old. She's hunched over and she's usually very quiet, just kind of shyly and smiling, kind of raises up her hand like this. And the preacher looks at her and says, "Ms. Reynolds, come on down." She says, "Oh, this is so wonderful." He says, "Come on." He says, "You now have the chance to be able to choose your 3 hymns." He looks at her and says, "Come on down." So she walks on down and says, "Okay, Ms. Reynolds, what are the 3 hymns you're going to choose?" And she looks out at the church, pauses a moment, and says, "I want him, and I want him, and I want him." All right. My father would have loved that one, okay? My father would have loved that one. All right. Going back to the book that Pastor Mary was using on this one. Let's see. I know I had just seen one here. Oh, here we go. 3 boys are in the churchyard bragging about their fathers. The first boy declares, "My dad scribbles a few words on a piece of paper. He calls it a poem, and they give him $50. Okay? Second boy says, "That's nothing. My dad scribbles a few words on a piece of paper. He calls it a song, and they give him $100. But then little Johnny piped up and said, "I got you both beat. My dad scribbles a few words on a piece of paper. He calls it a sermon, and it takes 8 people to carry all the money." All right. Sam, we switch over. Another number.
How many pages are there in the book again?
There are 182.
182. Okay, then 154.
154. Let's see. Oh, only one fact, but I'll jump over to the other page. So, Sam, what does a deltiologist collect?
Deltiologist? I have no idea.
A deltiologist. No, they are not employed by Delta, okay? A deltiologist collects postcards. Deltiologist collects postcards. Oh, let's see. What is the world's largest alphabet?
Largest alphabet?
Yes.
Sanskrit?
No, it's Cambodian. It has 74 letters.
Oh, wow.
74 letters.
Oh, wait, no. What about Japanese?
Well, yeah, but then we're not talking about letters anymore. So,
Sure.
okay. And did you know that cows can smell odors 6 miles away? There you go. And how long, Sam, did the 100 Years' War last?
Not 100 years.
116 years. So there you go. There you go. Let's see. Let's do one more joke out of here, because I've forgotten all my father's jokes on here. And Sam, I found a joke that's for you, by the way.
Oh, what is it?
Okay. So the pastor's son said to his mother, he says, "I've decided that I want to be a preacher so that I can clean up the mess the world is in." To which his mother replied, "That's just wonderful. You can all go upstairs and start with your room." So there you go. There you go.
Love it.
Let's see if I can find one more on all this. Like I said the one disappointing thing about this book is that it's really apparent that they didn't know that there was such things as women pastors. It was kind of a little bit out of date on some of those things. So a just out of seminary pastor was about to conduct his first wedding and was worried sick. An elderly preacher gave him some advice. If you lose your place in the ceremony book or you forget your lines, start quoting scriptures until you find your place. The wedding day came, and sure enough, the young man forgot where he was in the ritual. Unfortunately, the only verse he could think of was, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." So, all right, there you go. All right, hey, let's do one more. The book of useless information, and I'm not remembering any other jokes that my father told me, unfortunately. So give me another number.
To 116.
116. On page 116, we have. Let's see. Do you know what the shortest war in history was?
7-Year War?
No. It was a war between England and Zanzibar in 1896, and it lasted 38 minutes. 38 minutes.
You ever heard of, I think the Ostrich Wars in Australia?
The Ostrich Wars in Australia. No, I have not heard of the Ostrich Wars.
So basically what happened is the Prime Minister of Australia realized that there were too many ostriches in the country, and what he wanted to do was he wanted to kick them all out of the country. So he sent an entire military to go and kill every single one that they saw. But they weren't able to do that at all because they kept on attacking the soldiers. And none of the soldiers died, but they got very injured from all of them.
The Ostrich Wars. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know that alligators cannot move backward?
Huh.
And here you go. In Idaho, it is illegal it's illegal to fish on a camel's back. So you need to leave your camel at home if you're going fishing in Idaho. So there you go. All right. By the way, you know what a group of rhinos is called?
No.
A crash.
A crash?
A crash.
Huh.
Sam, give us a song. Give us a song, Sam.
All right. I think we played this song a couple of weeks ago.
We did, because I think I chose it for Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah, we did choose it for Valentine's Day. Okay, I completely forgot about it. I thought that we hadn't played it in a while, so that's fine. So
that's
we're playing I'll Do My Best. So,
okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll love you, Lord, forever. I'll love you, Lord, forever. I'll do my best, I'll do my best. Whoa, I'll do my best for you. Whoa, I'll do my best, I'll do my best. Whoa, I'll do my best for you. I'll praise you, Lord, forever. praise you, Lord, forever. I'll do my best, I'll do my best. Whoa, I'll do my best for you. I'll do my best, I'll do my best. I'll do my best for you. I'll serve you, Lord, forever. I'll serve you, Lord, forever. I'll do my best, I'll do my best. Whoa, I'll do my best for you. Whoa. I'll do my best, I'll do my best. I'll do my best for you. I'll love you, Lord, forever. I'll love you, Lord, forever. I'll do my best, I'll do my best. I'll do my best for you. I'll do my best, I'll do my best. I'll do my best for you. Very good. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam.
I'll go now.
Okay, wait. One more joke. All right. Once again. I know that my father did not tell this joke because he was not from here, but I tell it to him, and I think I've told you all this before. So anyway, I tell this to you just because. Okay, you'll have to forgive me. I might get crucified by both churches for this one. But oh well. Here we go. So the story gets told of the Georgian. I think I've told this one before. Story gets told of a Georgian who lived a very bad life. It was a bad life in the end. Because he was in a bad life, he went to that other place, not the good place. He went to that other place, and so when he went down there, the devil had him in this really hot room, and when he's in there, he leaves him there for like about a month. And so when he comes in and he checks in on the Georgian down there, he looks in there and he says, and the guy is just sitting back. He's having a great old time, and he's like has a mint julep in his hand, and he was like, what in the world is going on with you? Don't you realize you're in hell? And he says, oh, sir. He says, you got to keep in mind, this is just like a summer day in June. Okay, so devil just angry turns up the temperature about 10 million degrees and leaves him there for another month. And he comes back, and the guy is just sitting back there, martini in hand, sitting back, foot up, having a grand old time. And the devil's like, what is going on with you? And the guy looks at him and says, oh, sir, you just don't get it. You don't get it. He says, this is just like an August day down in Savannah. Devil now just so frustrated goes over, and he just decides to take the opposite approach. He turns it down so it's like 10 million degrees below zero, or however cold things can get down there, right? And leaves him for a month. And when he comes back, the guy is like dancing and jumping up around and running around and laughing and having a grand old time. And the devil's just like, what is going on? And the guy looks at him and he says, sir, don't you get it? Don't you get it? The Falcons won the Super Bowl. The Falcons won the Super Bowl. All right. Sorry, Falcons fans. That's my dad would have appreciated that joke. Happy birthday, Dad. So let me bring Christopher out for you. Christopher, you ready to sing?
Yeah.
Come on, Nona, come around this way. Other way, other way.
That way, but thank you.
Okay. So Christopher, I might have to help them out. So tell everybody what we're going to sing tonight.
Vegas karaoke new provide song.
We're going to sing from VeggieTales, the new improved bunny song. Okay? Are you ready?
Right.
All right. Sam might even be able to play this for us someday on the ukulele. He was trying to.
The body, whoa, I ate the body. I didn't eat the soup or my bread, just the body, oh, I love the body, but now I feel sick in the head from the body. I didn't eat my salad, I didn't eat my steak, I and I'll go to church, and I'll go to school. That stuff is important, and I ain't no fool. Because I know it already, I just wanna play it out for you. I know that I'll take you.
Take a bow. Yay, Christopher. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. So that's what we have for you tonight. And like I said, just the one announcement I know for sure for the St. John folk that are watching tonight. Just a reminder, if you've joined in late, just know Pastor Mary's not here tonight because she was sick today. She came down what I had on Tuesday and what Christopher had back on Sunday. But what this does mean right now is there will not be drive-by communion at St. John Lutheran Church on Sunday, but the service will be posted up for Sunday morning. So just know that the service will be available for you. So for Epiphany folks, just remember that that we will have the drive-in service at 11 o'clock. That will conclude with the drive-through communion. So we invite you there for that. I should have gotten this on there. I know Pastor Mary had devotions last night and gave you prayer requests. So keep in mind all the prayer requests that she has there. The couple of prayer requests I offer up in terms of Epiphany folk is once again some thanksgiving that Kim Johnson is doing so much better, that she did not have a blockage but just fluid around the heart that they were able to take care of. We're giving thanks for that. I did get word today that Cindy Parker from Epiphany is in the hospital right now with some multiple health issues that are going on. Please keep her in your prayers this evening. And with that, we just want to wish all of you all the best. And so with the blessing that we end up with every time, we just say, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord look upon you with favor and give you peace. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Happy birthday, Dad. 98 years he would have been today. Have a good night, everyone.